my good soror Contessa is knuckin and buckin, and Heavenly keeps writing checks that her ass cannot cash. Security! 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 Merry Christmas, Petty Bunch. Yes, I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Girl, Can We Gossip? Yes, with the petty one. It is I, and I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. And secondly, I want to thank my 75 subscribers. Y'all don't even understand. November 1st, I just said, hey, you know what? I want to get out here and I want to go back to my reporter and anchor roots. I was a producer, and with me producing, I produced entertainment segments, and I had so much fun doing it. And it's just like, I am a housewife buff. I am a celebrity news type buff. So I'm like, you know what? I watch Housewives. Why can't I go ahead and create my own channel and give my opinion while reviewing my guilty pleasures? So I want to thank my 75 subscribers for rocking with me. Also, what I need you guys to continue to do is just to support my channel. I just need you guys to go ahead and liking my recaps is a free way not only to support my channel, but it's also a way to get me into these YouTube algorithms and put me in front of people who didn't know I existed, and to put me in front of future Petty Bunch subscribers who didn't know that I'm the petty one that they needed to follow and to watch these reviews and recaps. And with that being said, I want to get into this latest episode of Married to Medicine. Y'all know the ladies are still at the ranch. They are still cowboy cartering. They are still just out here just doing what they do. You know what? I'm going to say this. Before I get into this review and put on my glasses, I just have to say, ladies, this glamping situation for this group is just, it's not it. It's not giving. Some of these ladies are just entirely too bougie to enjoy this whole atmosphere of what being quote unquote home on the range. It's just, they don't have it, especially like if they weren't born and raised here, they just don't have it. So for somebody like Sweet Tea, because she was born and raised the same, somebody that's born in Texas, they get it. This is the life that they have lived. They understand what it means to be a cowgirl, and that's just what it is. Also, like I said, I'm gonna start doing my reviews a different way. Y'all know I was just one to give y'all a whole play-by-play of each scene. I'm not doing that anymore. It's getting too cumbersome, and it's kind of boring. Like, y'all know, y'all have watched these episodes, and y'all have seen that. Y'all know how Bravo does us. Bravo. So y'all know when we watch, we're ready for what y'all have teased. We are ready for the drama. We are ready for the bitchiness. We are ready for security.
What you want, Bravo? Security. Lord Jesus.
Being called when fuck shit happens. I just want to touch on a few things. So this episode, I noticed that the top of this episode was just filler episodes, and it was just the dads giving us a glimpse into their relationships with their children. And I thought it was kind of cool for the most part. So we see Dr. Damon with Alora and with Zachary, they are shopping. And so we know Alora, who attends FAMU, she was living in the dorms, but now we know that she's going back for her sophomore year and that she is moving into her own apartment. And she was just talking about how she enjoyed dorm life, but it's like she's the type of person that is like, I need my own space. I need to be by myself so I can dig it, I can feel it. So they're at, I'm not gonna say IKEA, but they're like at some type of furniture IKEA type situation where they are looking for, just looking for things for her to just put in her apartment. So Zachary and Dr. Damon are shopping. They're having a good time, and he is just telling them how proud of them, being a proud father. He's proud of his children. And so they're talking and they're bonding. They're having a good time. And so we also see that Dr. Eugene is also with Avery and Ashton, and they are out. They're doing a cologne situation because y'all know Avery and Ashton are at that age. They are embarking upon their teenage years. They're like, hey, I'm at that age. I'm trying to put on my smell goods. I want my girlfriend to think I smell good. I want to smell good. They pop in their collars. They are feeling themselves as they are growing older, and that's cool. So we're watching Dr. Eugene, Avery, and Ashton have their bonding time as they pick out cologne samples. Then we also see that Cecil is with his two trifling boys. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta shut the laptop for a minute. Now, what I cannot condone is that why Bravo continues to show us Cecil and Simone teaching their very two grown ass sons how to be men. So this scene was supposed to be Cecil bonding with Miles and Michael while teaching them how to cook. Michael and Miles were very much not interested in learning how to cook. They were getting impatient with Cecil, who was cooking the meal for them, and they were like, oh, this is taking too long. I'm just really hungry. And you notice Michael ain't pick up no knife, no fork, no nothing. He didn't ask, Dad, can I add some salt to the water? Can I do this? Can I do that? These young men are trifling. They are entitled. They are spoiled. They are just disgusting. And I'm going to say this, Simone and Cecil, y'all have done a disservice to these two young men who feel that everything should be handed to them on a silver platter. So I don't know. It's very much giving Cecil vibes. Like Cecil explained to we the people that he was pretty much taken care of until he and Simone got together. I think he lived with his parents and then he and Simone got together, and then they got married and all this and all that. So Cecil, Michael and Miles are channeling Cecil. They are trifling. There was nothing cute about this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I fast forwarded through these scenes because I'm like, y'all, like, I don't know what type of woman y'all think y'all are going to attract. If y'all think that y'all gonna find women that are gonna put up with y'all bullshit. And I think they just want maids. They want somebody to be able to cook and clean for them. And they should be able to live their best lives and do what the fuck they want to do. And I was just like, wasn't feeling it. It was just like, y'all are trifling. Y'all are disgusting. And honestly, like, we could all do without seeing Miles and Michael because they are entitled. They're spoiled. They're trifling. Like, y'all don't even clean y'all whole place. Y'all parents came over in hazmat suits and cleaned y'all place and then playfully billed y'all. And y'all are like, oh, y'all shouldn't have billed us. And why was it? It's like, it was too much. And I was just like, yo, this is whack. And it's like Cecil and Simone, y'all are showing the world how trifling and manipulative y'all sons are. And if y'all think that y'all are going to have ugh, I don't know. Women, if y'all are around these men and y'all think that these are good catches to be future husbands to y'all kids, y'all better run the fuck on, because Miles and Michael ain't it. They're trifling, they're disgusting. Like, I get it. There are things like bachelor pads, but at least sometimes bachelors may clean up their shit. Miles and Michael don't do shit because they know that Cecil and Simone are gonna come over and clean up behind them. And that's pretty much it. So then we double back to Dr. Eugene and Ashton and Avery as they're picking out their scents. Dr. Eugene asks the boys what he thinks he smells like, and they say, you smell old and you smell fruity and all this. And I thought that was funny that they looked at their dad like, you're old and you smell fruity. And then another part that happened that I actually liked was when Zachary started talking about how he wanted to be like his father, because y'all know that Zachary is in dental school, and you know Damon is a physician, but Zachary is channeling his mother. And so he just looked at his dad and he's like, I look up to you. I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, I look up to you. I want to be like you. And that caused Dr. Damon to get teary-eyed, and he started crying because he's just like, wow. Like, he didn't realize the impact that he has had on his son. So I thought that was a heartwarming moment that he shared with his kids. The fact that this young man can say, Daddy, I want to be just like you. Thank you for filling my life with love and just being the role model that I needed you to be. So I thought that was cool. So now let's get into the fuckery. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay. So I'm going to say this. If you are a heavenly stan, I'm going to need you to go talk to your therapist, because there is no reason. This woman has the unmitigated gall to, y'all know, like when the forever FLOTUS Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. And my thing is with Heavenly, like Heavenly is just a treasure troll. She is just like, I will always call her just that gutter snipe that will continue to hit below the belt. And the fact that you went after Contessa's deceased mother. And that's the thing y'all notice about Heavenly. Whenever somebody starts going toe to toe with her, Heavenly, the first thing she does, yo mama, yo mama, yo mama. She always got to go for somebody's mama. Now, Contessa's mom's been dead, I think she said, since 2010. And for Heavenly to do that shit was just the unmitigated gall that you had. And then the fact, my thing is, Heavenly, this is my thing. If you trying to knuck, if you buck, I'm gonna need you not to call security.
What you want, grandma? Security? Lord Jesus.
Security. Because if you that bitch and you feel like you can flap your gums and everything, then Miss Mama's, I'm gonna need you to pull up, and I'm gonna need you to be able to, if you can talk that talk, you need to walk that walk. My thing is, you always throw the rock, then hide your hand, and then it's like you always running and you can say shit, you throw that rock, and then your ass gonna run into Jackie like she is supposed to save you. And Jackie ass couldn't save you this episode because guess what? Her ass failed.
Knocked to the floor. But it was like the Matrix. I just felt myself falling to the floor, but all I saw was the hand of Sweet Tea coming toward me and helping me up.
Well, you know, I always feel bad for the elderly when they fall. You know, I'm doing the good Lord's work.
Because y'all was getting ready to tussle. Your sister friend girl, she fell to the ground. And guess who helped her up? The same youngin' that she tried to talk to in this last season, Sweet Tea. And y'all noticed the shade. Sweet Tea was like, you know, I extended a hand to my elders. You know, you got to help the elders. And I thought that shit was so appropriate. So let's get into it. So, fashion show. The photo shoot. The Cowboy Carter reject fashion shoot. 3 words we can use, in the words of Dr. Simone, that we can use to describe this photo shoot. Light, airy, fake as fuck. Okay. So my thing is like, Toya, you did a great job with getting the ladies together and telling them what they needed to wear. Now, whoever told Toya that she was that chick with the fashions, Toya, you already know that your nickname for seasons and seasons upon seasons, according to Mariah called you Tacky Toya. And I'm sorry, Toya, you're not anybody to think that curating and creative directing photo shoots is one thing, but thinking that you can tell the ladies about their fashions and what they need to do and what they need not to do, I'm gonna need you to have several seats, because mama, you no, you it, no, you're not a fashion guru. And then, in fact, did y'all notice how bossy Toya was with the ladies? She was flippant, she was short, she was just nasty. So much so that Jackie said, hey, I'm going to describe Toya as an anal itch. It's like you have that itch in your anus, and it's like, it itches so bad, but it's like you can't reach it. That's how Toya was. Toya was a bit over the top. She was a little bit extreme, and she was getting on everybody's nerves. So then they had a Beyonce impersonator, Miss Chalet. She arrived on a horse, okay? And she was very much giving us Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter vibes. And the ladies were so happy to see her. They said, yo, you know what you're doing. Toya doesn't know what she's doing. She's driving us crazy. Help direct this photo shoot. Okay, so she did that. The photo shoot turned out to be amazing. One of the things that was so messy, but I can see why she did it. Heavenly and Sweet Tea, they took side-by-side photos together. They were dressed in their denim, and they did look good. I'm not gonna lie. Toya she was messy for that, but when y'all look at those pictures, Heavenly and Sweet Tea actually looked good together. And one of the things I noticed that Toya had said was that Heavenly and Sweet Tea are kind of one and the same. And when you look at it and you saw how they were dressed when they ended up going out to dinner, Heavenly and Sweet Tea might have a lot more in common than they think. But because Heavenly is so evil and so vile and so disgusting as a human being, it's like you can never really get to know her. So it's like she and T very much could have had a great relationship, but because Heavenly is such a disgusting human being, it's like, why would I want to take the chance to get to know her when she continues to talk shit, and then she hops on her YouTube channel and she continues to degrade and obliterate everybody. So anyway, the ladies go to dinner, and before they go to dinner, she's recapping T and Heavenly and how nasty Heavenly is and how Heavenly and T need to talk, but also Heavenly and Contessa need to talk. And, she's saying that Heavenly and Contessa remind you of jilted lovers. They are in love, but they are angry because nobody wants to offer a sincere apology. And she's talking about how her situation with her and Quad are. So they go out to dinner. Toya, one of the things I have to say now, I know I give Toya a lot of shit, but Toya is probably one of the realest women on the show. Toya is kind of like, listen, I've been there, I've done that with a lot of these ladies. I've had arguments, and I'm tired of it. I want us to move on in this friend group, and I want us to stop being fake and phony. I want us to sit down, hash it out, and just end it. Okay? So they're out at dinner, they're getting drinks, and Toya, that's like I was saying, Toya notices that Heavenly and Sweet Tea are dressed alike, and she points it out to both of them like, hey, y'all got a lot more in common than y'all think. Maybe y'all need to revisit this whole situation. So they look at each other and they're like, Heavenly is like, bitch, you don't know me. And of course, Sweet Tea is like, no, we don't. So of course, Miss Chalet shows up again, and she's looking as gorgeous as ever. When I say when you blink really quickly or you turn your head and you look at her, you really feel like you're looking at Beyonce. So she comes out and she puts on a show for the ladies, and they're, the ladies are hyping her up, and it's a pretty good show. So after she's done, Jackie asks her, girl, how you get them hips? And Sweet Tea is like, listen. Sweet Tea walks up to her, gives her a high five, like, yo, that's all cornbread and cabbage. And Phaedra's like, yes, cornbread and cabbage, but you got to stop exercising. And Jackie gives everyone the once over, and she's like, well, for some people, cornbread falls in the wrong places. And Quad is looking like, shit, I don't know who she's talking about. Maybe she's talking about Heavenly. And of course, they show Heavenly, who has on this black leather outfit. I mean, it was kind of giving, but in some of the places, maybe if she had a little Ozempic, it would have given more than it was supposed to get. So again, we go back to Toya, and Toya is just tired of the fakery. So she looks at the ladies and she says, we're practicing forgiveness. And y'all want to hear sorry, but sorry is truly for them. They're empty sorries. The sorries that you guys are giving each other, they are empty. And Heavenly is like, I don't know who she's talking to. So Toya apologizes to the group, says, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm calling spades spades. We need to give sincere apologies. And we're just not giving that. And so Jackie's basically like, yeah, I don't really know who you're talking to. She said, I apologized to Quad. I gave Quad a blank check and said, I'm sorry. And then she's like, Quad, I'm giving you this blank check. I want you to fill in the blanks. I'm sorry for whatever you feel that I did. And Toya is like, that's wrong. Because my thing is this, and I feel Toya 1000%. Y'all know I will not agree with Toya with a lot of things that she does, but in this moment, it's like, okay. So Jackie writes this blank apology check, and she gives it to Quad, and the cameras cut back to when Toya, Quad, and Jackie were out, and Jackie was apologizing, and Jackie's just basically like, you know what? I'm sorry, but here, I need you to fill in the blanks about what you feel that I should be apologizing for. And I feel that was kind of like half-assed, and it was kind of like just trifling to do, because it's like, if you know you have wronged someone, you need to explain why you're sorry. Like, hey, I'm sorry for calling you a bitch. I'm sorry for not being there when someone in your family has died. I'm sorry for not being a good friend to you. But Jackie just wrote this blank ass check and told her, you deal with. But anyway, so Toya is like, yo, people don't want to hold Jackie accountable. I don't give a fuck. Jackie, I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to confront you. What you said to Quad, giving her that blank apology check, it was wrong. You know you was wrong. You're wrong. So she looks to Quad, and she said,
there is a lot of apologies that came to you. They did it because they just didn't want it with you. Well, how could you all want it with me when you all plotted and planned against me? I gave you all of my time and my friendship, and y'all just left my carcass out to dry. My Shakespearian theatrics. I'm sorry, that's deep. You talking about you bled out? That is how I felt. You bled out though? And then Toya said,
so
bitch.
my thing is, they did a flashback to the Napa Valley trip when the ladies were sitting at the table, and Simone basically told her, you put on for the cameras. We do not see you unless something is going on and the cameras are rolling, and you want to be like Brandy, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? You want to be down. But any other time the camera's off, we don't see you. We don't hear from you. You don't know us. But as soon as the Bravo cameras are rolling, you are up in our face and in our space and want to be besties. And Simone is like, at the hotel, Simone said, hey, we don't have an emotional connection with you. We don't want nothing to do with you. So that's it. So Toya told Quad, you're doing too much. And she laughed. She's like, oh, really? You bled out? Okay, you bled out. And Quad is like, and she told Quad, you hurt other people. And Quad goes back and forth like, well, people aren't accountable. And Simone is like, Quad, you never hear anybody else's perspective. And that's my whole thing. Quad gets on this woe is me, everybody's doing me wrong type of situation. And my thing is like, Quad, come stand in front of the petty palace. You have been the most unforgiving individual in this friend group. You can dish it, but you cannot take it. You get in the kitchen when it's hot and you want to serve people, but when it's time for them to serve you, you want to run and you want to hide and you want to woe is me and look at how they're treating me, when you are the one that's doing a lot of the dirty work. Okay. So Simone is like, you got to hear somebody else's perspective. Quad, of course, cuts her off and is talking about the whole Napa situation. And Simone is like, I'm not apologizing for Napa. Quad is a fair weathered friend. And she's like, we did not want you to leave the Napa trip. And the reason Quad left is because she could not take the heat. So she ran because the kitchen got too hot. They said, we wanted you to leave. Quad, you ain't have to leave. You could have totally defended yourself. You could have heard the ladies out and you could have said, you know what, y'all right. I'm going to do better. But because you are who you are and you don't want to be confronted, you ran out. So they're going back and forth. And Quad says, y'all stand up for people, but nobody ever stands up for me. And Quad is like, I stood up for Heavenly. And Contessa jumps in and she's like, oh yeah, you stood up for Heavenly. That's when you were going against me. And Quad is like, no, I wasn't. So Toya says, Heavenly is the only person you stand up for. And then Contessa continues and says, I was there for you in 2018 at the crab boil when you were being confronted. Y'all remember at that crab boil, the ladies was coming for Quad. She was crying. She was this, she was that. Contessa hugged her and said she was going to be there for her. Tess put on that cape and she was like, I was there. I caped for you so hard. And Sweet Tea looked at Quad and she was like, I feel like you and Heavenly ambushed me on social media. And Heavenly is like, oh my God, the block is just hot. We ain't even been served dinner yet. What is going on? What is going on? So at this point, T and Quad go toe to toe. And T is like, I feel like you were imitating me. And so the camera cuts back to the time that Quad and Heavenly were on a live. And Quad is like, I did mimic your voice when you and Heavenly went out. So y'all remember the episode when Sweet Tea and Heavenly went out for drinks. And Heavenly was getting her to do these shots. And so Sweet Tea just kept revealing all the tea, where she revealed that Quad was right about Dr. G being controlling this, that. And so then the camera cuts to Quad and Heavenly talking about, when Quad was mimicking her. And so Quad is like, yes, I was mimicking you, blah, 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 blah. I apologize. Do you accept my apology? So T was looking like she was about to say yes, but she ended up just shaking her head. And Heavenly goes, that's interesting. So Tess says, is it? And Heavenly is like, y'all don't have shit in common. And Tess is like, well, T has a good heart. And Heavenly says, I think it's fake. Quad told me you said it was fake. And Quad is like,
Do that to
So
be
now
true.
why
I
am
just
I
thought it
in
was
it?
funny.
And you could have did
Now
it.
see
The
how I
same
get
way.
I
did
wrong and
because you
stuff?
never
I ain't even did
apologized.
nothing.
Now,
what? And Tess goes, Quad, Heavenly says, you said that I said I have a fake friendship with T.
do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got receipts. What is she talking?
But see, this is the type of shit that Heavenly does. And Quad is like, I said that you and T are trying to get to know each other. And Tess is like, Quad, did you say what Heavenly said that you said about our friendship being fake? And Heavenly is like, yes. And Tess goes, who's lying? She's looking at Quad. Who's lying? She's looking at Heavenly and she's pointing her fingers. Who's lying? And so Heavenly stands up and looks at Tess and it's like, don't point at me. Don't yell at me. And she's like, do this shit with your husband. So see, that's the thing. That's the issue that I have with Heavenly. Heavenly cannot confront a situation head on when she is being backed into a corner. She ultimately just goes to she just goes low. She goes back to her YouTube channels where she gets on social media and she talks bad about her friends and their marriages. So that's what she started digging in with Tess. Do this shit with your husband. He the fuck are you mad at? And Tess stands up like, not you talking about my husband. And Tess is like, do you think my husband is abusive? And Heavenly says, I do, and here are the receipts. Again, production and their messy asses cut to the times when Heavenly was on her YouTube channel and she posed the question, is Dr. Scott abusive? And she talks about she thinks he's emotionally abusive, da 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 da. So Heavenly's like, here are the receipts. So Sweet Tea looks at Heavenly and tells her, you're abusive. And Heavenly says, nobody's fucking talking to you. So Tess says, the only friend you have here is Alora. You buy every single person in your life. You bought Alora a beauty shop and that shit crumbled. Your kids and husbands don't like you. That's why you and Daddy sleep in different. When she said that shit, I was like, damn. So Buddy and Daddy allegedly sleep in different bedrooms. That's information. So they're going back and forth, forth and back, forth and back. Then T and Contessa also let some more tea slip. Now y'all know my girl Mariah.
I slept with Damon. Don't even do that. Do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got receipts. What is she talking about? Your husband. Ask him what he really likes.
You're a freaking liar.
With me. You know I got it.
I'm done talking to you.
Don't do me.
And Heavenly are saying, at least we don't have to worry about no mixed babies out here with the last name Kimes. So it's some mixed babies out in the Atlanta streets with the mixed names. I said with the mixed names. It's some mixed babies in these Atlanta streets with the last name of Kimes. Buddy, was a daddy cheating on you? Was a daddy dipping his stick in another pond and he let that ink? Okay. Heavenly, where you hear that at? And so Heavenly's like, do you forgive your man? And by this time, Heavenly and Contessa are going at it. Heavenly is just doing the most that her titties are popping out of her outfit. And it's just like, Heavenly. And that's my whole thing. Like, Heavenly, if you are going to, like in the infamous words of Kenya Moore, don't come for me unless I send for you. So Heavenly, you sent for Contessa. And now that she's coming for you, you were kind of backing up and you need the peanut gallery to hold you back. So her titties is coming out. And Contessa poses a valid question. Why do y'all continue to cover her bullshit? And that's a valid question. Why do you ladies continue to allow Heavenly to talk her shit about you all in your marriages, but y'all continue to protect her and daddy? And that's the whole thing. Toya, shit has come out about you allegedly cheating on Dr. Eugene. Jackie, we've seen that bullshit come out where Curtis was out here in these South Carolina streets cheating on you. We've seen it. We've already seen Dr. Simone and Cecil almost have a divorce because she said Cecil and his best friend Tammy were becoming too close. We've seen Quad and Dr. G 2 weeks 2 weeks before they were getting married, they both got arrested, but yet and still they both got married. We saw the demise of their relationship. We saw Contessa and Scott go through their thing when their daughter Layla was like, Daddy talks to his girlfriends on the phone. So it's like, now, Heavenly, your relationship is not perfect. It is your turn to pay the piper. You have signed up to be on this show. It's time to be honest. So, Heavenly is like, basically, Contessa, why y'all cover for her bullshit? Heavenly says, the reason you and Sweet Tea bond is because both of y'all husbands ain't shit. So Heavenly tells Tess, your husband is a cheater. So Contessa is like, well, what about Dr. Damon? And so here's the thing. You stupid. Then Heavenly says, your mama stupid. So
Quad said that I had a fake friendship with T.
Absolutely said it. What you want? Square up, ho. Security.
Lord Jesus.
They cut to Phaedra in a confessional. And Phaedra's like, basically like, yo, I don't condone any fighting, but, you know, as a black person, when somebody says, yo mama, oh, them's fighting words. It's time. So Faye is like, square up, ho. You talking about my mama? It's time to square up. It's time. Let me Let me get them kinks out my neck. It's time to square up, ho. So Contessa pretty much comes up on her, and she's like, y'all defend her. Like, why are y'all defending Heavenly? So Heavenly, security. So all this shit is going on. Jackie's crying. Jackie gets knocked down. She's telling Heavenly to be quiet. She's doing all this crying. And so the meantime, it's like Toya the whole time is at the table. Toya ain't saying shit, ain't doing shit. And so they eventually pull Sweet Tea back to the table. And Sweet Tea is like, I'm trying to eat my dinner. I'm da-da-da-da-da-da. And so they're just going back and forth. Tess and her guns is out and she's ready to square up. Tess is ready to knuck and buck. Heavenly, security. So Sweet Tea ends up helping after Jackie is knocked down. Sweet Tea helps Jackie up. And so Jackie, of course, pulls Heavenly away and they go back to the golf cart. And so they pull Contessa back to the table. And so Contessa is pretty much upset. Now, Toya, mind you, was sitting the whole time. It's like, I'm not trying to get in this bullshit. But Toya eventually gets up and she's trying to calm the ladies. And so she's trying to calm Contessa. And Contessa is pissed beyond, you can't console me. So she's basically digging into Toya, like, stop trying to, Toya goes see Heavenly. You were wrong, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then she comes back to Tess and is like, you're wrong. And so Contessa is just like, oh, but she can talk about my mom, but I'm still wrong too, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So Tess is pretty much going off on Toya. And so it's just a whole shit show. So Heavenly is going off. Jackie is talking to her, trying to calm her down. And so Jackie starts crying. And so Jackie's like, Heavenly's going off. And Jackie, just stop it. Heavenly, you reason you continue to have the unmitigated gall to puff your chest up, talk your shit, and not expect anyone to want to whoop your ass. And I don't understand it. It's like you ladies, like Contessa said, continue to cape for Heavenly. Y'all continue to let her say the things that she wants to say. She talks ill of all of you guys. Call y'all bitches hoes. Talk about your marriages. Talk about your husbands. But yet and still, y'all stand in between her and Contessa because y'all are trying to protect her. I don't get it. Heavenly will call y'all a bitch at the drop of a dime. And Jackie, for you to continue to be Heavenly's biggest advocate, you don't remember the vitriol she had for you when she first got on the show and how she came for you, and y'all was the best of enemies, and now y'all are seemingly the best of friends, and you still caping for her. Heavenly is the reason why, although you and Simone have forgiven each other, your friendship will never be the same, because Heavenly has planted that seed and has caused a rift between you and Simone. You and Simone are not as strong as you think you are. You guys once were strong, but you allowed Heavenly to come in and tear up the friendship. Heavenly, you have shitted on every relationship that you have been in. You hop on your YouTube channel continuously and you talk about everyone, and yet and still they're still caping for you. Like, I don't get it. Y'all comment below, like, what type of freakish spell does Heavenly have on these ladies where they continue to cape for her? Like, she's talked about all y'all. She's talked about Quad. She talked about all y'all. I'm gonna be in my most humblest of opinions. The only people right now who really have sense and is looking through the bullshit is Simone, Sweet Tea, Contessa. Phaedra, you're exempt because you really don't have any ties with anybody. You're kind of just on the outside looking in and trying to mend these relationships, but it's just a bunch of bullshit. Y'all comment below. Tell me what y'all think. How did y'all feel about this episode? Like, I was here for it. I was waiting for Tess to get in there and just I was waiting for Tess to do that. All right, Petty Bunch. Until the next episode. Again, these ladies is giving. They said, hey, we're 10 seasons in and we still got more shit to give. So I'm excited to see what's to come. Like, we see now Dr. G and Dr. Damon are continuing to hash out their grievances. But this shit is about to get real interesting. So y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one.